Yes, guys, and welcome from me. This is Championship Manager 0102, the D.T.L update for you. We are halfway through Season 6 auctions. What are we halfway through? And this is shit, really. This is my own honest view, and it is just a view. The first set of results that you can see dated there came on the 15th of August. It's the 3rd of fucking September. We could have got all those auctions done within No, okay, I'll stop. Okay, so, in all honesty, right, the first half of the auctions, the first 5, were nothing special. There's a couple of marquee players that have moved. Now, you've got to think to yourself, right, with D.T.L, the Dream Team League, some players are purchasing players for the longevity of the game. Now, Michael Essien is definitely one of them. So, Southampton bought Michael Essien for £6.1 million back in auction 1. Bergkamp went for 5.5. Now, I believe we play the 3.968 update for 5 seasons. So, the longevity side of things, it's a very, very long way. Like, Michael Essien, it's going to be a couple of updates before you get the best of him. Whereas Bergkamp, you could theoretically have Bergkamp on this update and get 5 good fucking seasons from him because it's always going to be a fresh update. But Bergkamp went to Leeds United. I'm just trying to think if there's any standout players that maybe made the move. Julio Ricardo Cruz went to Liverpool, £4.2 million. Southampton, Dermatron brought another player in there. Is it Timashuk, whatever you want to call it. But of course, the biggest one of auction 1 was definitely Philip Mexes, who also went to Dermatron. Dermatron really cleaned up. I mean, what was it, 4 players he got from that? That was fucking insane. And it's funny, really, because Mexes, there was only 2 other teams that went for him, Man City and Leicester. And I think probably that surprised Derm himself. But 12.6. Now, Mexes might not be the greatest on 3.968, but he gets better and better within time. So, quite an entertaining auction 1. Let's go to auction 2 now then. And give our little update. Here we go, auction 2 then. We got a player there. Castillo for 800 grand. Nothing special there that we got at Wolves. We also got Jose Pierre Fan for 1.3. There's a method to some of my signings. But in terms of any market, there was nothing really that jumped out the page here. And you can see that just by some of these results here. Stefan Binlich was probably the biggest, and he went to Man United for 4.7. Now, incidentally, Man United had a big auction here. They brought in, I think, all 5. Yeah, actually, I wrote it. They landed all 5 players, but there was no one really that jumped out the page at all. Compared to auction 1, auction 2 was pretty fucking shit, to be honest with you. On to auction 3 now then. Okay, let me remind myself now then of what moved around again. I don't think it was anything special. Bosco Balaban, he went for £6 million. I actually went in for him, but Man City landed him, motherfuckers. Sunday Luisi, now, there was quite a lot of interest there. I think Preston North End ended up landing him. Thomas Galaska, now I actually landed him. I wanted him. Surprisingly, there was only 3 teams that went against me. Vladimir Schmitzer. Now, I think Schmitzer was a good player. I didn't want to go for him because I thought there'd be a lot of interest, and there was, to be honest with you. So 5 teams went for Schmitzer. David Villa. Now, David Villa, what are you going to call it? Now, that was interesting because he went for £11 million. I did not, £13.3 million he went for. Did not expect him to go for so much, but I thought there'd be interest because we all know David Villa is a big player in future updates. But the big player, of course, of auction 3 was the one, the only, don't leave him alone with your wife, John Terry. Now, John Terry, I did not see that coming. £20.3 million John Terry went to Colchester. Of course, our very own Trunky. That's quite a player Trunky got. Trunky, you know, he just builds, he's already got a very well assembled setup. And that's just going to make it even more difficult for us guys going forward. But nevertheless, big amount to pay. Fended off a lot of competition from Man City, Arsenal, myself, Liverpool, Chelsea, Hull, Southampton, Leeds. And I think that was a big congratulations to Trunky there in definitely the player of the auction. On to auction number 4. Okay, let's So it took so long for Mark to get his arse in gear. He had days off and everything. Bank holiday weekends, not accept. No, actually, we're not coming across the bank holiday weekends. Okay, auction 4 now then. Let's just have a quick gander and we'll see what we feel that was the marquee one. So Paoletta, he went for £8.8 million to Preston North End. Big signing. That's probably one of the biggest, to be honest with you. I just got to cast my mind back. Fernard went to Liverpool for £5.2 million. I don't really know much about Fernard, to be honest with you. I knew Paoletta. I didn't know him too well. But there wasn't anything really of interest coming through. Everton actually landed a couple of players on a free transfer, it would seem. Yeah, it did. I think Mark changed it a little bit here on auction 4, where he put in... No, sorry, I've got that wrong, haven't I? No, I got that wrong, because he did change it slightly on the next auction, I think. Everton did get a couple, but he put his name first. So nothing really special on this auction whatsoever. On to auction 5. So, auction 5. Well, this is the last one that went through. And we had Kennedy Bakayoko. He moved for £6.6 million to Arsenal. Virgil van Dijk down at Newcastle got a couple of signings at long last. Newcastle Scarlet, he got one. They're the new guys, of course. Okoronkwo, now that was probably the biggest move. £11 million. Only 4 teams went for him, actually. Sorry, apologies. 5 teams. Yeah, this is where Mark moved it a little bit. So AJ took him, Okoronkwo. Big signing. Nothing else really jumping out the page. In all honesty, Okoronkwo and Bakayoko, they were really the big ones. So we're up to auction. Number 6 or 7, whatever it was. But let me just go to it now, and I'll give you my honest views on something. I'm hoping that the auctions that the results should be in today. I think they need to be in today. They really do. So, auction 5, yeah, we don't want that. We've seen that, haven't we? Auction 6, and this is where we're going to see. We've obviously got previous auctions of players that haven't gone. That is the subsection there. But, of course, we've got some big players in this next set of auction. My bids are in. I think most people's bids are in, so I won't influence anyone, I don't feel. Where to start, really, with this? Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Big player. Thomas Rosicky, big player. Lucio, monster player. Steve Marley, big player. Who was the other player? Gattuso, monster player. The goalkeeper over there, I lost where he is. I've just fucking read his name and I've lost him. Christian Abbiati, monster player. There are some really big players on this auction and I expect fireworks. I really do. Hopefully, everybody will spend all their money. We've got some real monsters, and I think the auctions, this is the auction. I think what Mark's done is he's left a couple of the biggies for the second half, the auctions maybe. I'm not sure if that's how he's done it intentionally. I'm not even sure if Mark does it with a random generator for the players. It's interesting to see how it works out. But this is just a self preference here. For me, there has to be a deadline. There has to be a deadline. You could argue 24 hours is not enough, particularly for some people. So, okay, 48 hours. There has to be a deadline. And I think the key thing, I really enjoy this side of the game, but I think we've gone through so many auctions, so few auctions in so much time. It's very, very, I want to say frustrating. That's probably the wrong term, People shouldn't have jobs and lives. They should only devote their whole time and life to D.T.L. I don't think that's much to ask. I really don't. Mark even emphasised it when he put the auctions out on the 31st, 4 days ago. And we've had the weekend, so I think today would be adequate, personally. Some class players, and the fact that he's wrote some class players, Mark knows we're going to get fireworks. We're going to get some fireworks in here. There's no doubt about that. Who do I think will get who? Well, I'm sure people look at this, so I'm going to go to it, because I do look at this, and I would venture a guess everybody does. So this is what I do, and I'm going to bring you to it right now, because I think you've got to. I think you really have got to look at this to get a bit of a perspective of who's got what to spend. There you see. Arsenal, 40 million still to spend going into that last auction that we've just seen. Spectral, Mr. fucking Moneybags over there, £109 million. I think we're going to call Spectral, because he's like a multi-millionaire in this game. We're going to call him The Rock, because Dwayne Johnson, he's got all the fucking money in terms of showbiz, isn't he? So, Spectral, I'm sure you're going to take that, Spectral. You are The Rock, with all your fucking money. To Everton, £47 million. Leicester, which of course now is Neil, Virgil van Dijk, £47 million. Scarlet, which is Newcastle, formerly Ebfats, £55 million. A lot to spend there. Durham still got £34 million to spend, to be fair. Can still be quite lethal with that. Reese, £36 million. Myself, £48 million. In fact, tell a lie, I think we've got a little... No, he has updated that. Sorry, it was 49 million. We got a player on a rebid, I think. Player that I was really happy with for 700 grand. So, all updated. It's an interesting one. It's an interesting one to see. It's going to be this next set of auctions. I think we're going to see some real fucking fireworks. I really do. And the plan will be, guys, I will do another video, all being well, touch wood if Mark gets his fucking arse in gear. We'll do another video at the end of the auctions. Now, I'm not 100% sure, I do hope, but I'm not sure, will Mark have any window of time for any more haggles? It's not a massive issue if he don't, but I'm intrigued. I thought he might give everybody an opportunity to sort of grow accustomed to what they've purchased on the auctions and any players that they'll be happily get rid of. Who knows? We will see, because some teams have got very small squads. Now, the likes of, I think, Leicester and Newcastle have got relatively small squads, so they might want to pick up some dirt cheap players. You never know. You never know. So, some squad players. You never know. But I think it's going to be very, very entertaining. I need to get some nicknames, really, don't I? I think, Spectral, you are The Rock because of all your money. Trunky, you're just cunt, really, because of what you did to me on Vieira. Right, so that's it from me, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Till next time, take it easy.